Hello, this is Dr. Do again. This video is outside of medicine. Continue to read the Iliad by Homer. I'm going to continue to read. A flash, a sudden hurl, and a Troyes speared in a champion out in front. It was Prince Aeneas, commander in armies, Diocon, Pergasus' son, the Trojan prized like Priam's sons, quick as he always was to join on the forward ranks. Now his shield took powerful Agamemnon's spear, but failed to deflect it. Straight through it smashed, bronze splitting his belt and plunging down his guts. He fell, thundered, armor ringing against him. There Aeneas replied in kind and killed two Argent's captains, Diocles, two sons, Orsilochus, flanking Cretan. Their father lived in the fortress town of Phera, a man of wealth and worth, born of Alpha's river, running wide through Phalian hills, the stream that serried Orsilochus to rule their many men. Orsilochus serried Diocles, that proud heart, and Diocles bred Orsilochus, twinned with Cretan, drilled for any fight. And reaching their prime, they joined the agaibst, sailing the black ships, outward bound for the stellar land of Troy, all for the sons of Atreus, to fight to the end and win their honor back. So death put an end of both, wrapped them both in night, fresh as two young lions off on the mountain ridges, that ravaged shepherds, stealing, mauling the cattle and the fat sheep till it's their turn to die, hacked down by the cleaving bronze blades in the shepherd's hands. So here the twins were laid low at Aeneas' hand. Down they crashed like a lofty pine tree, axed. Both down, but Menelaus pitied them both. Yes, and out of blood he burst through the front, helmed in fiery bronze, shaking his spear, and Ares' fury drove him, Ares hoping to see him crushed at Aeneas' hands. Antilochus marked him now, great Nestor's son, went racing across the front himself, terrified for the Lord of armies. What if he were killed? Their hard campaigning just might come to grief. As Aeneas and Menelaus came within arm's reach, waving whetted spears in each other's faces, nerved to fight it out, Antilochus rushed in, tensing shoulder to shoulder by his captain now, and Aeneas shrunk from battle, fast as he was in arms, when he saw that pair of fighters side by side, standing their ground against him. Once they dragged the bodies back to their lines, they dropped the luckless twins in companions, open arms, and round they swung again to fight in the first ranks. And next they killed Philomenes, tough as Ares, a captain heading the Paphlagonian shieldsman, hot-blooded man. Menelaus, the famous spearman, stabbed him right where he stood, the spear point pointing his collarbone to splinters. Antilochus killed his charioteers and steady henchman Medon, Antimenes' strapped son, just wheeling his tracers around as Antilochus winged a rock and smashed his elbow. Out of his grip the reins, white with ivory, flew and slipped to the ground and tangled in the dust. Antilochus sprung. He plunged a sword in his temple, and Medon, gasping, hurled from his bolted car, face first, head and shoulders stuck in a dune a good long time. For the sand was soft and deep, its lucky day, till his own horse's trampled down flat as Antilochus lashed them hard and drove them back to Achaea's waiting ranks. But Hector marked them across the lines and rushed them now with a cry, and Trojan shock troops backed him full strength, and Ares led them in with the deadly queen Enyo, bringing uproar on the savage chaos of battle, the god of combat wielding his giant shaft in hand, now ranging ahead of Hector, now behind him. Ares there, and for all his war cries, Diomedes shrunk at the sight, as a man at a loss, helpless, crossing a vast plain. Horse shot at a river rapids, surging out to sea, takes one look at the water rolling up in foam, and spring back with a leap. So he recoiled, shouting out to comrades, "O my friends, what fool we were to marvel at wondrous Hector! What a spearman," we said, "and what a daring fighter! But a god goes with him always, beating off disaster. Look, that's Ares beside him now, just like a mortal. Give ground, but faces fronting the Trojans always. No use trying to fight the gods in force." So he warned, as the Trojans charged them harder, and Hector, longing leveled a pair of men who knew the joy of battle, riding a single chariots, Menethus and Achilles. Down they went, and the great Ajax pitied both. He strode to their side and loomed there, losing a gleaming spear, and struck down Amphius, Seleucus' son, who had lived at ease in Persis, rich in possessions, rich in rolling wheatland, but destined guided Amphius. On a comrade sworn to the cause of Priam and all of Priam's sons. Now giant Ajax speared him through the belt, deep in the guts the long shadowy shaft struck, and down he fell with a crash as glorious Ajax rushed to strip his armor, Trojans showering spears against him, points glittering around him, his shield taking repeated hits. He dug his heel in the copse, yanked his own bronze out, but as for the dead man's burnished gear, no hope. The giant was helpless to rip it off his back, enemy weapons beating against him. Worse, he dreaded the Trojans too, swarming round him, a tough ring of them, brave and bristling spears, massing, rearing over their comrade's body now, and rocked. Strong and proud as the great Ajax was, they shoveled him back. He gave ground, staggering, reeling. I'm going to stop here today and continue next time. Thank you for watching.